Welcome to practice. We're going to begin laying down, and I've got a blanket folded on its long edge so you can make a little roll. But underneath your shoulder blade, so just make sure your neck feels comfortable when you reach back to the floor, and you can always put another blanket under your neck or pillow, whatever you've got handy. And Baddha Konasana legs, soles of the feet out wide. Tuning into your breath. And just how you feel this morning. How your body feels in this position. Notice what the support under your shoulder blades is doing for your rib cage, for the space around your heart. Good, and then gently bringing in the knees and the arms and roll carefully and roll to your right side. And we're going to come into forward virasana. Your blanket out. Mm. Mm. Begin lengthening using each exhalation to walk the fingers a little further forward. Use the inhalation to find spacious feeling in the front torso, in your back, in the body. And then looking forward at your hands, we're going to take the elbows out wide and bring the chest just above the floor so you're laying onto your tummy. Elbows in, legs parallel. Lift the breastbone. Good. We're going to press up into all fours. Arch the spine up. Arch the spine down. And then back into forward virasana. And with the breath, inhale, look forward. As you exhale, elbows out wide, chest along the floor. Elbows in, legs parallel. Inhale, lift the breath. Good. As you exhale, up into all fours, arch the spine up. Inhale, arch the spine down. And exhale, forward virasana. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, chest along the floor. Elbows in, legs parallel. Lift the breastbone. Up. As you exhale, up into all fours, arch the spine up. Inhale, arch the spine down. Forward Virasana. Inhale, look forward at the hands, elbows out wide, chest along the floor. Inhale, breath in. As you exhale, arch the spine up. I'm traveling backwards. Arch the spine down. Be out of the shot soon. And then forward Virasana. We're going to do one more. Look forward at the hands. As you exhale, elbows out wide, head to the floor. Elbows in, legs parallel. Inhale, lift the breastbone. You might be even able to be up on stretch. Arch the spine up. Arch the spine down. And then forward Virasana. Mm. Mm. And finding the flow of the breath. We're going to walk the hands over to the left side and reach as far as you can with your right arm. Reaching the right side of the body. Walking the hands over to the right side and reach as far as you can with your left arm. Reaching the left side of the body. Nice. Back to center. Come up into all fours. Tuck the toes under and lift the knees just off the floor. Going to stretch the fingers out wide. Press the fingerprint. Base of the index finger. Good. Elbow creases facing. Press your upper arms out just a little above the elbow. Nice work. Lift the knees away from the floor. Downward facing dog pose. We're going to pay attention to the foundation in this sequence, the hands, the arms, the sensation in the feet. Good. We're going to lift right up onto the balls of the feet. And then, if you can, roll over onto the front of the feet. You might have to do 1 foot at a time. And then roll back. Hips back. Drop the knees, but not quite to the floor, and look up. Good. Downward facing dog pose. Press the heels. Lift up onto the balls of the feet. And then, if you did 1 at a time, like I did, do the other foot first. Onto the front of the feet. Drop the knees towards the floor. Good. Lift the knees back up and roll back over the feet. Press the heels. Knees almost to the floor, not quite touching. Look up. Keep the hands pressing. Fingerprints. Good. Knees away from the floor. Press the heels. Lift right up onto the balls of the feet. See if you can roll over onto the front of the feet. Knees almost to the floor. Good. Roll back. Press back into downward facing dog pose. Knees almost touching the floor. Look up. And then resting into child's pose. Feeling the feet and the hands. The length of the back body. Flow of the breath. Good. Hands to the front of the mat. Up into downward facing dog pose. Beautiful. And we're going to take little steps. And you're going to try and press your heels down towards the floor and bring the feet closer and closer to the hand so that you can feel the stretch in the back of the legs. But we'll try and keep the back nice and relaxed and long. So stretching the legs, noticing that feeling of resistance in the body, the awkwardness. But feeling too the flexibility of your feet. Really pad them. Get as much movement into your feet as you can. Good. And then we'll roll up. Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. I'm going to step forward a little bit on back and forward on the mat. So if you'd prefer to put your hands on the seat of a chair, have that facing you. Otherwise, hands can go on the floor. But only if that doesn't really tense your back. So use the chair if it helps your back be more easeful. Tadasana, mountain pose. Strong legs lifting, front of the legs lifting, front of the hips lifting, breastbone lifting, top of the head lifting. Shoulder blades relaxing down. Good. Urdhva Hastasana. And then Uttanasana. Okay, so walk your feet back until you can comfortably get your heels as close to the floor as possible. So it won't be all the way to a downward facing dog pose. And then we're going to pad the feet. But what you're going to try and do is when you lift up one heel, lift right up so that you stretch the base of all your toes. So padding the feet up, one heel up and then the other heel up, one at a time, and try and stretch your toes. Nice work. All right, and then walk your feet forward. See if you can get that nice padding feeling as though your feet were hands. Beautiful. And then rolling up. Urdhva Hastasana with the ribs and Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands. Uttanasana. Let's try and straighten one leg and then the other. So keeping the feet on the floor now. You can wriggle about a little bit in your torso. If you can let go of that really tense or rigid feeling in the lower back. Get that part of your back moving, feeling supple. Good. Bend both knees, come back to center and roll up. Urdhva Hastasana. Good. And Tadasana. Take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, hold your elbows, lift your elbows. Uttanasana. Reach the elbows forward. The arms are nice and heavy here, so we're going to let some length into the spine. Let your head just be relaxed. Feel the connection of your feet to the floor, legs parallel, and then see how it goes to straighten and bend alternately. Alternately, your legs. Good, and then inhale and rolling up. Urdhva Hastasana. This time arms behind and hold your elbows. You feel that nice shape when you've got the support behind your spine, like we started the practice over the blanket on the floor. Back bend shape, so the chest is spacious. Forward bend again. Mm. Mm. Let the head reach forward or hang down so the back of the neck is long. Try stretching the legs without tensing the back. So one leg at a time or both legs if that feels good. Mm. Recenter, bend both legs, roll up. Arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Good. We're going to stand with the feet together. I'm turning this way. You could use the back of the chair to put one hand on for the tree pose. Otherwise, let's go from the belly here. Hands at the belly, shoulders relaxed. Feet are together, and because we spend a lot of time in our practice with feet, just feel how you sway around your center. Good. And then we're going to turn the right leg out, so the toes out at 90 degrees. We try to bring the right knee out, but watch that the left hip doesn't swing around. So keep your hips facing forward. Good. And then let's see how you go balancing on your left foot. So you might lift your toes up off the floor. And if you have your balance, put your foot up on your leg, either below your knee or above your knee. Right foot on the left leg. Hands are at the belly and feel that center of your balance. Nice work. Squeeze the buttock muscles together. There's a lot of energy contained here in the core of the body. We're going to lift up the arms by the ears. Virksasana, tree pose. And trees are able to sway. So let's try and sway the torso. Maybe the same thing's going to happen to you. It's pretty tricky. Bring your attention back to the core and feel the trunk able to move independently from there, swaying a little from side to side. Good. And then release. Ooh. Hands back to the belly, to the core, finding the breath. Turn your left foot out. We're trying to get the leg out to 90 degrees, but without swinging the right hip forward. So keep the hips facing forward. See how your balance goes. You always keep your tiptoes near the floor. Otherwise, put the foot up on your leg, either below your knee or up your knee. And then arms up by the ears. Reach the sides of body, long. Lengthen the spine curves. You might feel the tailbone reaching down, the ribs lifting, the shoulder blades reaching down, the neck relaxing. And then from your core, a little bit of swaying in the trunk from side to side, lifting the sides of the ribs. Very challenging today for me. Good. And then release. Let's put the hands back on the belly and the feet unstick. And you notice that shift in balance. Such a stable position for the body. Legs parallel, feet parallel. Stable position for walking, running, standing. And one day for squatting. So we're going to do a few little squats and In the beginning, as you're training your squats to be more easeful, wider feet makes that easier. So you might want to put your heels out wider, turn your toes out where your knees are going to go. I'm going to try for parallel feet today. Let's do hands in front of the heart. Press the hands and feel the shoulder blade slide down. Good. And we're just going to squat so the heels stay on the floor, just as far as your heels stay on the floor. As far as your knees want to go, you just want to go. And your heels stay put. And then we're going to press into the heels and lift up. Good. Now you want to keep that awareness in the shoulder blades, the posture of the spine. We're going to put our hands onto the buttock muscles. Good. And we're going to squat again, just as far as the heels stay on the floor. You might even be able to feel the muscle working, gluteus muscle. So just squatting as far as you can and then press into your heels and really squeeze the buttock muscles as you lift back up. Nice. All right, we're going to do that again. So with the awareness in the gluteus muscle. Hands can be so helpful for directing attention, awareness in the body. All right, so squatting down just as far as your knees are comfortable with, your heels stay on the floor. It's the coming up that we're really going to use those muscles. So press into the heels and see if you can feel the work of the gluteus. Nice. All right, we're going to sit down and a little bit higher, sitting a little bit higher is good here. So hold your blanket. You triple fold this way and you could even double it over. So you're up just a little bit higher on your feet. Good. And then bring your heels as close to your sit bones as you can. We're going to hold on the front of the leg and lengthen the spine. And just rock a little bit forward and back. Can you get any movement forward onto the front of the feet? Maybe not. But just rocking forward and back. Okay, bring the heels in closer. Try again. So you might notice I've got parallel feet and that's making it hard for me because I'm not quite up to that. But if I take my heels out wider and toes out wider, now I've got a feeling where I could get onto the front of the feet more. Maybe try that. And maybe even think about lifting off. Not quite. All right, nice work. Now, where you are with your squat, hold on to the front of your knee, lift your spine. And then you're going to use your hands maybe behind you. You can even reach one forward, one back, and then see if you can get onto the front of your toes, or not the front of your toes, up onto the balls of your feet. Good, and then see if you can balance yourself in the balls of your feet. If you're doing my one-sided version, just turn around to the other side and sit back. Good, and then let's try that again, other way around. So other hand in front, lift yourself up onto the balls of the feet, even lift right up onto the balls of the feet. If you can balance there, and then helping yourself back to your blanket on the other side. Nice work. All right, we're going to take an ordinary seat now. So that comfortable blanket, put your sit bones on and cross legs or legs out semi-wide. That's better for your knee. Finding your feet. I'm going to start to rotate the rib cage, the diaphragm, around the pelvis. Diaphragm at the lower cross section of the rib. And we'll try and keep the diaphragm level to the floor, reaching to the horizon. 60 degrees. Observing what's going on in your core, letting the rest of the body follow without tension, and following. Good, and then the other direction. So the neck feels easy, the shoulders easy, and the diaphragm traveling to the horizon. Redirection. And back to center. And then we're going to lean over to the right side and just lean as far as feels good for your back, your torso. You can even take your arm out straight if you need to. Your supporting arm. Good. And we're going to take the left arm up to the ceiling and over the left ear. So reaching that side of the body. So notice we tend to tip forward here, but roll the left ribs back, open the heart towards the ceiling, the sky. Breathing. Beautiful. And then inhale and coming up. And we'll swap the cross of the leg with the cross and lean over to your left side. So put your left hand down for support and take it out straight if you move a lot here. Let's take the right arm up to the ceiling and then by the right ear. And notice that tendency to tip forward. See if we can roll the right ribs back. Open the heart towards the sky. Nice work. And back up to center. We're going to take both legs out in front. Pick up your left foot in your right hand. So opposite limbs. And then we're going to make a big circle, like you're stirring a big cauldron with your heel. And we're trying to find as much movement as we can for the hip. Now, just watch what's happened with your back. I'll turn side on so you can see. In the effort of picking up the foot, has the back bowed out behind you. So we want to lift the spine. So we're sitting tall and easeful in the spine. Good. Stirring a big cauldron in the other direction. Nice work. Now we're going to put that left heel in this range of movement from maybe the floor inside the right leg, maybe on top of the thigh, the right thigh. Try not to put it on your knee, right thigh. or in front of the right hip. So somewhere in that range of movement that your knee is comfortable with. Good. And then we're going to take the left hand and put it on the outside of the right knee and the right hand behind. We're going to lift the torso. Turning the ribs. Tuning into the sensation of the body. Tuning into the sensation of the breath. Good. And then release that side. Nice work. We're going to pick up the right foot and just watch that tendency to bow the bones of your spine out behind you. See if you can lift those bones and bring them forward. Good. So holding proud spine, spacious feeling for your chest. Good. And stir your cauldron with the right foot. Yeah, the temptation is definitely to lean back and stirring in the other direction. Beautiful. All right, you're going to explore your range of movement, beginning with putting the foot down on the inside of the left leg. Might be enough. Or starting to move towards the left hip, so you're below your knee or above your knee on your left leg, or in front of the left hip. Take your right hand to the outside of the left leg. And we're going to turn the ribs to the left. Shoulder blades relax down. Neck is relaxed. Tuning into the body. The sensation of awkwardness. But also there might be a little bit more room to move. Tuning into the breath. Slow. And then releasing that side. Now, we're going to fold in the left leg, but this time for Janu Shisasana. So we just put the foot on the inside of the right leg on the floor and the left knee out. And if your knee sits up, you could always put a cushion underneath if that feels like it would be better support. Because we're looking to keep that length, that feeling of ease in the spine. We're going to reach the left arm back now. Really reach it back. Take a look behind you. And then swim the arm forward in the direction of the little toe. And then place your hand down where it reaches to, on your leg, the outside of your leg. Good. And we're going to head the torso in that direction with each breath. Use your other hand for balance to help you reach forward. How did the bones of the spine travel here? See if you can embed them forward into the front of the body. Finding each breath. Inhaling and lengthening your spine. And exhaling, embedding the bones of the spine forward, reaching the top of the head forward. Oh. Mm. Good, and then inhale. Coming up. Both legs out in front. Bend in your right leg and put the foot as close as you can to the thigh on the floor on the inside of your left leg. You take support under that right knee if it feels better for your leg, your hip, your back. Let's take the right arm back behind us now, looking back. And then really swimming that arm forward towards the little toe side of the leg, the foot, wherever you reach to. Good. Inhaling, lengthening the spine. Exhaling, embedding the bones of the spine forward. Hands where they support you the best. Reaching the top of the head forward. Shoulder blades back. Mm. Good, and then inhale and coming up. Nice work. Let's take a laying down position. My favorite. Bring the arms out from the shoulders. Take a moment to feel the shape of your spine. To feel the breath. Inside edges of your feet together now and knees together. Lift the hip to the right, knees go left. Simple 4 twist. You can look over your right. Let's be passive in this pose rather than active. And pay attention. Be present to the gifts of the pose. Bring your focus to the core of your body. You know that when you lift your leg, lots of support for the spine. You're using all of that power inherent in the core. Lift the hips and swing them left and knees go right. And be passive here. Feeling the gift of the posture. Grateful to my teacher and my teachers. And using the core of your body to lift the leg, to hug the knees into your chest and rocking a little bit from side to side. Feeling the flow of your breath, the vitality of that breath. Mm. Yeah. And you could lay yourself out for your own shavasana. Do you have time here? Or if you need to finish your practice, as I do now, we're going to roll to the right and come up to sitting. Mm. Hands in front of the heart. Get the feeling of the practice with Namaste.